in the state of Uttar Pradesh, where a massive road show is going on. Congress's Rahul Gandhi, along with the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, Akhilesh-Rahul, there in the run-up to the assembly elections, campaigning on in full swing. There you have it, live visuals coming to you from Agra, where you can see hundreds of people have surrounded this van, which is carrying Congress's Vice President Rahul Gandhi, as well as UP Chief Minister Akhilesh-Rahul. And in fact, both leaders do still have a stack of differences as far as their alliance for the UP Assembly elections is concerned. But for the moment, they've joined hands, and in a show of solidarity and showing their strength in the lead up to the assembly elections in Uttar Pradesh. This is in fact after they first appeared in Lucknow just last week, a second appearance together, but this time it's more about show of strength, creating a perception that everything is now, this show of solidarity is, it seems, is aimed at their own cadre in the state, because that seems to be the most important point as of now, because there's a lot of discontent within the cadres of both these parties about the way this alliance really came together. There was a lot of misunderstanding in the first phase over seat sharing. A total of 403 assembly seats, remember, in the state of Uttar Pradesh. The Congress was in a continuous tussle for the number of seats. Akhilesh-Rahul there not conceding to the Congress's demands. Finally, the Congress had to settle for the number that was offered to them. All right, in fact, let me go across straight to our Chief Domestic Correspondent, Karthikeya, who will help understand what is happening in Uttar Pradesh in the run-up. Karthikeya, give us a sense of why Akhilesh and Rahul Gandhi, they chose Agra, because we do know it has a strong concentration of Dalit voters. Is that the reason, perhaps, the choice for the show of solidarity? Karthikeya, if you're with us, talk to us about the choice of Agra as a destination for the show of solidarity. Is it perhaps because of the high concentration of Dalit voters in this particular constituency?
Because if you look at the constituency of Agra, it is 40% Dalits, 30-35% Jats, and the rest of them are from the upper caste. Now, it is of great importance for both Akhilesh-Rahul and less for Rahul Gandhi, I would say, that the politics in the western part of UP is more about the way Dalits, Muslims, and upper caste behave. Now, in this, Mayawati's party is very, very strong, as Samajwadi party is not strong. So there's a direct fight between BSP and BJP. So suppose a polarization takes place, it directly benefits Bahujan Samajwadi party. Now the challenge for Akhilesh-Rahul is to ensure that he has his footprint there. And let me explain to you, this is a 7-phase election. Suppose there's a cascading effect. In the first 2 phases, BSP does well. Then it affects the whole voting pattern. Now you would remember, Sana, in 2012, the election started from east of UP and went down to the western part of it. In the first 2 phases, Akhilesh-Rahul's party, then Mulayam Singh was the top leader, they did very well, and it created a cascading effect. Similar was the case with Nitish Kumar, where the election started from the southern part of Bihar, and it created a cascading effect. So in terms of cascading effects, Akhilesh-Rahul has to now focus, apart from the low-hanging wires right now on the way the dynamics between different castes will work and the way he can subvert BSP in Western Uttar Pradesh. I think that's where the challenge is, that's where the political play lies.
Absolutely. Karthike, also give us a sense of, this bonhomie that we're seeing between Rahul Gandhi and Akhilesh Yadav. This came after a lot of disagreement, a lot of discontentment and tussle over seat sharing in the state. So who then is the main, target audience, if we talk about, of this show of strength, this mega rally that we're seeing?
Well, I would say that...
is it the cadres?
Well, I would say yes, it's also about the cadre, but yeah, I do agree with you, Sana, there. But there is one additional factor. Let me put it this way: sometimes a good polarization creates a very strong counter polarization. So the imagination of a polarization for Mulayam Singh Yadav in 2014 created a very strong counter-polarization, and it's ironical, very bad in democracy, that in a state like Uttar Pradesh, single Muslim failed to fight itself way to Lok Sabha. Not a single member from minority community has gone to Lok Sabha, which has 19% of the population there. So that happened by a complete counter-polarization. So in this case, what has happened is now you have a triangular fight now. In this triangular fight, it is also boiling down to survival, because both Samajwadi Party and BSP, for them it is whether they were able to retain the reins of the state. But BJP, it is not a matter of survival. For BJP, it is a matter of prestige for Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Amit Shah, because there is no state leader, there is no Rajnath Singh, Rahul Gandhi is not in the play, Vinay Katiyar has been accommodated in last two phases, Menka is not campaigning that way, LK Advani does not have, any schedule for Bharatiya Janata Party, Murli Manoj Joshi has not been given that much of time. So I would say that for them, it is a matter of prestige, because if they lose this prestigious election, it will have a direct bearing on Gujarat. And Gujarat and UP will define the way BJP fights election in 2019. It is not about number of seats. It is about confidence. It is about the whole concept of turning of the tide.
Right. Also, Karthike, talk to us a little bit about what is the plan here as far as the Samajwadi Party and the Congress is concerned. This is the second roadshow that we're seeing. The first one, of course, was in Lucknow. What happens from here on? We do know Agra goes to polls on the 11th of February, so there's not much time there. And it's a staggered election, a 7-phased one.
Well, before I answer that, what's the most interesting, Sarah? Yes, I understand, it's a long drawn process, number of phases. But coming together says two things. One, Rahul Gandhi 2007 and 2012, he spent more than 60 days in Uttar Pradesh. Both the times I was there for 60 days. And he used to talk in his off-record press conferences, both the times. I think 8 or 9 times he met us in 2007. 15 or 17 times he met us in 2012. And the whole, I would say, the spirit of his campaign was Ekla Chalo Re, which is, we will be alone, we will revive Congress party, because somehow historical mistakes have been done. But for Samajwadi Party and at that point of time, Sana, for Mulayam Singh Yadav, it was coming of age. If you remember, after Congress lost power in 1990, till 2002, not a single party got complete majority. Now, Kesrinath Tripathi and his flawed judgment as a speaker allowed Mulayam Singh's minority government to function, which got a rap from Supreme Court. It was only in 2007 that Mayawati was able to get 203 seats from 63 onwards, and they had a single government ruling for 5 years in peace. The same feat was repeated in 2012, where from 82 seats, Mulayam Singh's party went on to get 227 seats. Congress party had 21 seats. It ended up at 29 seats. And Mayawati went down to 80 seats. So what was happening, Sana, in UP was 80 and 200. Now, this time around, because of battle of succession, Samajwadi Party, and Rahul's realization that the biggest enemy is BJP, and for Akhilesh to have some crush in the national politics because he saw his father suffering. You would remember, Sana, 44 MPs in Lok Sabha, and Mulayam Singh was out of power in 2004, and parties with 5 MPs at their ministers sitting next to Manmohan Singh. So he realizing that he has done a tie-up. So it is coming of age for both the leaders. It is about common sense and common sensibility to tie up against those who can take you on very easily.
Absolutely. Karthike, talking about the BJP, there's a reaction coming in from the BJP chief Amit Shah, who's saying that Akhilesh and Rahul are princes and the duo will destroy Uttar Pradesh. We're going to be talking more about that after a very short break, Karthike. Do stay with us. We'll be right back.